Hey guys, welcome back. This is the video for my 7th graders reading list for this year, 2025-2026. Alright guys, welcome back. I'm Laura Wilkie with Down Home with Lemon Pie, and I am so excited that you guys are joining me today. I have already shared with you guys the videos for my 9th graders reading list and for my Form 1 kiddos. We are Christian homeschoolers. We do a Charlotte Mason style. We have from the beginning, and I have my kiddos. I have 7 kids, and we have them divided into age groups, kind of a very European style, that are called forms. And so Form 1 is 3rd grade and down. Then Form 2 is 4th grade to 6th grade. And then I have Form 3 this year, which I am putting my 9th grader and 7th grader together in that level. And so it is very exciting to have a second one in my Form 3 level this school year. And last year I just had my oldest, and so this year I'm adding a second daughter, but her reading style, her reading preferences, and her reading level are not the same as my oldest daughter. And if you've been following me for a while, you know that my oldest daughter is a very devoted reader. She loves to read, and she loves to read a lot, and she loves to read very quickly. So her reading list is very, very long, and it is not only very long, but it encompasses things from many different genres and many different reading levels up through college. And I have no doubt in my mind that she will get through like 90% of that or the whole thing. And so if you want to see what that video is, it is linked below. My Form 1 kids, this year I just have a set of twins that are going to be, they're 7, so they're in 2nd grade. And then I have my youngest, who is 3, turning 4 in the school year. And she kind of listens off and on throughout. And so I have all of the books that I do with them. Their books are all straight read aloud, so things that I read to them generally at bedtime. But for this girl, she's obviously an independent reader. She is almost 13. She has some differences in the style of books that she's interested in, but I still wanted them to fit in with our historical studies that we're going to be studying. And this year we're doing Mystery of History Volume 2. We also do a ton of Ambleside, but our history, we usually do Mystery of History. And so that Volume 2 level is like the medieval times, and I'm so excited for that for her. I hope that she finds things that she likes. She is more of your, I would say, probably typical 7th grader as far as reading goes. She doesn't mind it. She doesn't give me a hard time about it. But if she has a choice between reading and probably anything else, she's not going to choose reading, okay? And so it's just not something that she has really developed a love for yet. So I'm hoping to change that. I've been doing these reading book videos for a couple years now, so if you want to see books that I've recommended for her in the past, those will be linked below. For my other kids, those are also linked below. So these books I am grabbing off of Mystery of History. They have a topic resources thing that you can print off. It's part of their book. You don't have to buy a separate piece. The code is inside the book when you purchase the book. And what I love about it is it gives us recommendations based on age level and also the topic. So it goes through the whole story, like the whole book, like lesson 3. These are the books that go along with that, lesson 4, so on and so on. And it's so good. And then it has just things that are just in general. And then I mentioned this in the other videos, I did find a bunch of books that I wanted to add on to there for that were located at my library, and I did it backwards last year, where I just found books that people recommended and then they weren't at our library. So this year I fixed it. I started at the library, typed in some search terms like medieval, kings, queens, princesses, castles, these different things, Renaissance, and went with that. And then also grabbed books that I thought were good ones for her age level. Okay, so we're going to go through this together. I'm going to go through it fairly quickly because there is a good amount of books on here. Because as a homeschool mom, I am not a like when I have my kids read something or I give them a list of books I want them to read, the majority of those books, if they start them and they're just like, I can't get through this, I'm not interested. If it's something that I feel is super important, I will continue to push them for it. But most of the time I say, good, I'm glad you tried it. Let's move on to the next one then. And I do encourage them to finish, of course, if they can, but I'm not going to push them into a point of hating to read. I did have that on me. I know a lot of public school people who had that as well, and that kind of has the opposite effect. If it's something that I want them to know or something specifically, then yeah, I'll maybe have them read it for sure. But, some of these things, we're just giving them those recommendations and those ideas. And later, next year, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years from now, they may come back to it and they'll be familiar with it. And so I'm okay with that too. So let's see what we have here. I color coded, I printed this out and then I color coded it for all of my children so that it would be really simple. And my second daughter, let's see. I don't think I mentioned this in the other books or in the other videos, but Mystery of History Volume 2, which is the one we're doing, actually has a cookbook that goes with it. And we are also going to do the cookbook that goes with it. It's 28 weeks with a recipe for each one. I'm so excited for that. It was so cheap. I think it was maybe $8 to add on. And I think I got it through like Rainbow Resource or something, and which is not where I got my Mystery of History. So you can get it separately. But I am so excited, and this girl is the one who's going to be probably the most interested in this because she likes to cook. So I want to throw that out there, the Mystery of History Volume 2 cookbook. Then I have a couple books by David Macaulay, The Castle and Cathedral. We'll probably do those as a family. I already have Cathedral, so we might do that one first. And then Castle, I'm still working on picking up. So I know our library has it, but I think I may need it for longer than we're allowed to check out. So yeah. Okay. For her, we have time period specific poetry. I mentioned these in my 9th graders list as well. These are not things that we're going to be memorizing, but things that I wanted them to read. So Seafarer, Idylls of the King, The Lady of Shalott, Kubla Khan, or A Vision in a Dream, a Fragment, Bruce to His Men at Bannockburn, and Battle of Agincourt. I might be butchering all of these, but it does tell us exactly where to find them. They have little website links and tells you which lesson they would be appropriate for. So I am going to try to add those in as little things for the girls to read. Then the next one I have for her is Twice Freed by Patricia St. John. Such an amazing author. I don't think this particular child has read anything by this author. We read one as a read aloud a few years back, but she has not read them on her own. And I just love the way Patricia St. John writes. Her books are fantastic, and it says this story brings to life the relationship between Philemon and Onesimus of the New Testament. She's a very good author, and everything is so good biblically based, so I do like that. My oldest daughter read it last year, I think, and she really liked it too. So then the next one I have is The Dead Sea Scrolls by Eileen Cooper. It's not available at our library, but I did mark it because if I happen to find something like at a thrift store, marking them kind of puts it in your brain so that you can find it later. It might remember it or trigger it or whatever. So I did write that down. It's The Dead Sea Scrolls by Eileen Cooper. It's 64 pages. Suspenseful story details the discovery of the Dead Sea Scrolls and the struggles that went on behind the scenes to possess them. It just sounds interesting. Okay, Pompeii. I talked about some Pompeii books in my ninth graders list. And the ones that it recommends, which are not at my library, are Pompeii Buried Alive by Edith Cunhart and Lost City of Pompeii by Dorothy Henshaw Patent. Neither of those are at my library, but I did get on my library's website and I found some that are available. And the ones that are available are The Buried City of Pompeii. Also, You Wouldn't Want to Live in Pompeii. And the Roman Mystery Series, Pirates of Pompeii and Secrets of Vesuvius, Book 1 and Book 2. So we may look for some of those. I mentioned previously that my oldest was kind of scarred when she learned about Pompeii. She just read the early reader book years ago, and so this child is actually a little bit more sensitive than my oldest. So she may not even want to cross this topic right now. And she knows already kind of the very broad overview. I think she watched a documentary with Dad once. So if she just wants to skip those, I'm totally okay with that. No sense in scarring her. Okay, the next one I have for her is, there are some books by Mary Ray, Springtide, Ides of April, and Beyond the Desert Gate. None of these does my library have, so we probably won't get to them. But if I happen to find them somewhere, they are by Bethlehem Books. They would be good books with a Christian background that I would love to own, so I may find them. Then the next one is, I saw that it said India, the Culture by Bobby Cowman. I love Bobby Cowman. I talked about that already in another video, but my library doesn't have that one. But it does have the DK version for India, and also the Aztec, Inca, and Maya DK books as well. These would be more like a reference book that they would read a few pages or something, but not necessarily like a straight chapter book. So there's that. The next one I had for this daughter is The White Stag by Kate Sarity. Great storytellers can bring to life just about any time period, such is the case with Kate Sarity, who marvelously captures the story of Attila the Hun and the Magyars for middle students. It sounds like it's going to be good. It's only 96 pages, so it's not intimidating. Yeah, so there's that. I also had that one down for my 6th grader, who is a boy. Okay, the next one is King Arthur and the Knights of the Round Table. We have several different versions, including this one here, which is a abridged version. And I'm totally okay with my children reading abridged versions, because sometimes it is what they need, and then sometimes it sparks an interest for reading more in that and going ahead and doing the full length. So totally okay with that. I do like that there are several options here that Mystery of History gives us with different authors that they recommend, so I like that. The next one is Favorite Medieval Tales by Mary Pope Osborne. Now, I did select this one, but then I found a really great deal for some of the other books that are similar tales, and I'm probably going to do the other one instead, because this one I don't actually own, and I ended up buying these, which are by Bookhouse, and I'll probably do these ones instead. I didn't find book 9, so I might try to find that one, but I'll probably do these instead. And I think they're a similar thing, also very good, my Bookhouse. Okay, next we have, this is by Bethlehem Books, Beowulf the Warrior. I have it marked as at our libraries, so maybe it's there. I don't think they had any Bethlehem books, so I might have just mismarked it. But she says this version by Ian Serralier, maybe, is a good one. Most younger students aren't ready for epic poetry, but if you want to test the waters, I would choose this version, she says. It's enjoyed by all ages, 48 pages, so we might do that as like a family thing. I don't know. We'll see. I think my boys would really enjoy it too. I told you, I have significantly less books for her because I wanted to be really particular with which ones I chose, because like I said, if she's going to read it, it's not every book that she's going to read. So I wanted to pick ones that she would actually want to read. Okay, Raiders from the Sea by Lois Walfrid Johnson. My oldest daughter read these last year. She borrowed them from a friend, and I may see if we can borrow them again for this daughter. And it says, captured by Vikings, Bree and Devon learned to rely on God to find their way home to Ireland. The story of faith and forgiveness is the first in a series of 3 historical novels. So I'm excited for her to try that. I think she'll enjoy it. She did tell me recently that she likes books that are adventures, so I think that'll be right up her alley. We have not read Leaf the Lucky by Ingrid and Edgar Dolaire. I'm probably pronouncing it wrong, but I would like for us to read that or have her read it even on her own. And actually, she never read Viking Tales, which is part of Ambleside, and I got it for my younger kids, and I read it to them. So I think she would probably learn that or enjoy that, because it says in lesson 52, we're talking about Leif Erikson and discovering America. I just think she would enjoy it. So I may recommend that one as well. Okay, the next one I have is Don Quixote, a version of this, obviously an abridged version, because Don Quixote is a huge book. So if I can find a good abridged one, I found one on Amazon. I think it was really inexpensive and it was illustrated. I might go with that one. The Minstrel in the Tower, 64 pages. This short and exciting adventure novel may be the perfect choice for students just starting chapter books. She's not just starting chapter books, but sometimes we all like something that's just simple. It's just easy and not a real big challenge for us. So 2 siblings find themselves kidnapped and locked in a tower while their father is off on a crusade. So I think she may enjoy that, and I think it was at the library. I haven't marked that it was. So let's see what else we have. Okay. Adventures of Robin Hood. I have this version that we will probably have her read. I also have a full-length version that my older daughter is going to read. But I think for this 7th grader, she's going to prefer this one, and it's a good one. I've read this one, and I enjoyed it as well. A Single Shard by Linda Sue Park, a very good story. A little slow to get into, but a very good story. I read it last year just so I would know what it was and what it's about. Very, very appropriate and very good moral with that one. So I highly recommend that. And that is listed under Japan, so if you're studying Japan. Okay, the next one is Big John's Secret by Eleanor M. Jewett. This is 1215, Sharing Christ with Muslims. I have this written down, but we don't have access to it. Our library didn't have it. It is a Bethlehem book. So I'm hoping that we can find it. The next one is Magna Charta by James Daughtry. Yeah, I think that she'll like it. It's by Beautiful Beat Books, and we don't have this one. I would like to get it. I have several children that I would like us to read that throughout the year, so that would be a good one. Genghis Khan, the Brave Warrior Who Bridged East and West. This is like a picture book, and it is 42 pages. It was at our library, and allows young students to meet Genghis Khan as a boy. You know, there's something to be said, even with 7th graders, for reading good living picture books, especially historical ones, because there's just so much that they can gather from that. So do not discredit those picture books, even though your children are capable of reading larger books, because sometimes when it's in a simple form, it has pictures, we just get something else out of it. And I just love that. So we still do them. All right, the next one is Marco Polo. This is the picture book version by Demi. It is 64 pages. If I can grab my hands on it, we will read that one. All right, the next one that I have, let me see. I do have a Joan of Arc book that I have, but I probably am not going to have her read it, because I think we're going to do one as a group and read out loud together. The next one is Midwife's Apprentice by Karen Cushman. I think she'll love this one. My oldest daughter enjoyed it. She read it a couple years back and really enjoyed it. Then I have The Beggar's Bible by Louise Vernon. One that I've wanted to own for a while, but I have not owned, and I think it would be a good one to own. A 13-year-old who encounters spies and enemies of John Wycliffe. I just think it would be such a good one to learn about, and I don't own it, so maybe I need to get on that. So Young a Queen, Jadwiga of Poland, a true story about a Polish queen determined to put God and country above personal gain. Both of these I had also for my 9th graders, so maybe if she doesn't get to them this year, she'll get to them by that point. We'll see. Okay, The Joan of Arc by Diane Stanley. That's the one that we're going to read as a family. And then let me see what else we have. Ink on His Fingers also by Louise Vernon. That is another one about the Johann Gutenberg. I think that would be a great one for her to read. Now, that's pretty much finishes the books that are included for Mystery of History. However, like I said, I have a whole stack of ones that I recommended for this specific daughter. Some by older sister and some that we just wanted to read or we saw were available at the library. So I'll tell you those. The first one is Margaret Haddock's The Time Travel series. This is the one that is like Scent, and I can't remember all the titles, but they're all one word like that, and they are super interesting. I read the first 3, I think, and my older daughter read the whole series, and they're very interesting, and it's about some kids, and they go travel back in time to these different time periods and see things and learn about things or whatever, and it's very well done. Very good author. And she has already read the Missing Among the Hidden series, and so I think this is called the Missing series, and so we're gonna try that. Okay, the next series is the Royal Diaries. I love the Royal Diaries. Each book does a different princess in history, and we have read, well, actually, this specific daughter has not read any of them, I don't think, but we have owned several. My daughter that's older than her has read several, and there's a bunch more at the library, so we will see which ones kind of fit into this time period and try to read those. The next one is Till Year's Good End, A Calendar of Medieval Labors. I just saw that this was available at our library, and I added it to my oldest daughter's list as well, so I'll have them both read that. The next one is the Silver Bowl series. My oldest daughter has read, I think she's read this whole series, but she wanted to read it again, and she even said, put this on Layla's list as well, because I think she would really enjoy it. So I'm going to put it on there. It's kind of a princess retelling. I think she'll really enjoy it. Princess Academy series is another one. It's by Shannon Hale, and this specific daughter was a big fan of Princess in Black, which was kind of a reading, like a beginner reader series, and same author. Now it's a little bit older, and so I don't think it's the same characters, but it's the same author, and she's got older books, and so that is that. I think she'll really enjoy it, so we'll see. Okay, the next one I have for her is the Wing Feather series. My oldest daughter has this and read through, I think, the first however many in the box set, and then she recommended my second daughter would enjoy them too, so we'll try that. Okay, the next one is Where the Red Fern Grows. I told you that my older daughter wanted to watch the movie, and I wanted her to read the book first. So I'm going to have this daughter also read the book. We haven't read it yet. I know from reading it in 5th grade that it's a very sad story. So, you know, they'll be fine. But yeah, I put that on there for them because I figure if they want to read, you know, that kind of stuff, we should probably, or watch that kind of movie. Let's read the story first. So that's on there too. Some princess retellings. This girl has always been a fan of that kind of topic, and so I think she would enjoy that. I'm not sure which ones exactly. There's some by Shannon Hale. There's some by Melanie Collier. There's some others. I'm going to do some research and pick out exactly which ones, but those are some of the ones that we're looking at. Celtic and Medieval Alphabets. This is like my art girl. My oldest child is also an artist, but this one more so, and I thought she would enjoy learning some of that. So that was at our library, and I thought we'd try it. Okay, a kind of short book, but with a One that stays with you is Tuck Everlasting. So I had put that on there too. My oldest daughter read it last year and was just like, we have to read it. I think she read it 3 times last year. And she said, Layla has to read this. Put it on her list. She really helped me, my older daughter, create the list for this younger daughter because she knows her interests and things. And so she came up with a lot of books. So if she doesn't like the list, she can blame sister, I guess. Okay, the next 2 were just at our library, and I read the description, and I thought they sounded just adorable, so I thought we'd try them. Castle Corona was the first one, and the second one is Water Castle. I thought these sounded really exciting. I thought they sounded like something she'd be interested in, so I stuck them on this list. We'll see. I'll try to do a video at the end of the year and have her tell us what she thought about these books. The next one is Gregor the Overlander series. Is the same author as Hunger Games, but for younger kids. It says Gregor falls through a grate in the laundry room of his apartment building, hurtles into the dark underland where spiders and rats and cockroaches coexist with humans. Kind of reminds me of City of Ember series, if you've read that, but I think that she's really going to enjoy it. So it's 5 books for 8 to 11, so I think it'll be age appropriate. We will see if she likes it. Chronicles of Pryden is by Lloyd Alexander. My oldest daughter had this on her list last year. I don't think she read all of them. There were 5, I think, and I think she enjoyed them, but just didn't really get into them. But she thought Layla may want to try, so we put it on the list for her to try as well. The next one is also by Margaret Haddix. Like I told you before, the Missing series and was on there. This is called the Palace Chronicles series, and the first one is called Just Ella, and then there's 2 more. So I think she's going to enjoy it. I believe it is a retelling of, I think, Cinderella. Am I right? And so something similar to that. So I think she'll enjoy it, and it'll be something familiar. I think those princess retellings are just so great because they're familiar and something that kind of brings young girls to, or young women to their, back to their childhood, but also at an older level. I just think they're so good. So I'm excited for that. So that basically wraps up the list for my 7th grader. It is not as long as my 9th graders. Some of them are the same for them to kind of talk about together. Some of them are, very easy picture books. Some of them are a little bit more challenging. We'll just see where we go with this. I am excited for her because she is so into reading new things. She's interested in reading new things, but it's not, like I said, her favorite thing. So I'm excited to kind of cross that boundary and see if we can get there. Right now she's reading through the Breadwinner series and really enjoying it, which is exciting for me because I read through that series too recently and thought she might enjoy it, and she is enjoying it, so I'm excited for that. So that basically wraps up her list. Stay tuned, and I will share with you guys what I have left for my 6th grader. It is a boy, and the books that I have recommended for him, and some of them I just think they're going to be a little bit the same as my 7th grader, but also some that take on a very boy interest. So stay tuned for that if you've got boys and you're looking for boy books for this around the same age group. That's what I'm going to be coming up with next. So I will see you guys next time.